Dr. Simon Ramo, an American physicist and engineer, is sometimes known as the father of the intercontinental ballistic missile. He was also an avid tennis player and recorded his observations of many years in an excellent book on tennis strategy called Extraordinary Tennis for the Ordinary Tennis Player. In this book, he observed that there are not one but two games of tennis. One is played by the professionals and a few outstanding amateurs. The other is played by the rest. He termed the game played by professionals as the winner's game. In this, the players are skillful, playing the game with confidence till one player manages to edge the ball past the opponent's racket or force some other kind of error. Dr. Ramo called this the winner's game, a game where, because of the high level of skills possessed by the players, points and eventually the game has to be won. On the other hand, Dr. Ramo found the amateur's game to be entirely different. Here the skill sets relative to the complexity of the game was tenuous at best. For the best part, players hit the ball into the net or out of bounds. In his own words, in this version of the game, points in tennis are more often lost than won. He called the game of tennis the amateurs played the loser's game. The winner in a loser's game gets more points than the opponent, but only because the opponent is losing those points. What does this have to do with investments? Quite a lot, as it turns out. Investments, or let's call it the money game, is the ultimate loser's game. Many, and particularly institutional investors, believe that they are playing the winner's game. After all, they employ proficient and talented research staff. They pay top money for access to all sorts of information on the outside and, if possible, on the inside. Competition among the institutions is fierce, for the winner has much to gain. But are they really playing the winner's game? The evidence is overwhelming. Even the most accomplished money managers underperform their benchmarks. Managers trying to outperform the competition will have to discover and exploit the mistakes of others, while at the same time avoiding mistakes that others can exploit. Only those who can avoid making mistakes over the long run can aspire to achieve superior performance. The game that an overwhelming majority of people who talk about investing are playing involves following global markets and investment advice, making smart decisions on the way. But when you soberly assess the competition, you should come to the conclusion that chances of winning the winner's game is pretty slender indeed. Instead, you should play your own game, the loser's game, and not be manipulated to play the game that the financial services industry and the media want you to play. Unlike professional sports, investing is a loser's game for both amateurs and professionals. There is wisdom in recognizing that. The secret to success in a loser's game is to minimize mistakes, and for investors, that means minimizing trading, having a long-term plan, and following a set of heuristic rules to achieve your investment goals.